The following is one of the fundamentals of every firewall, and your FortiGate is not different. Since 6.2, you can actually start inspecting in flow-based mode or proxy-based mode in the policy page. Before that, in 6.0 and before, you could actually get into the CLI and set the inspection mode. Now, you know that using different inspection modes gives you different features whenever you use one of these security profiles, such as antivirus and so on. Now, what is the difference between a flow-based inspection and a proxy-based inspection? Coming up. So in a flow-based inspection mode, and in this case, we're actually seeing what is done when you're using an antivirus security profile. Your host asks for some file. It goes through your FortiGate, and your FortiGate actually doesn't buffer the packets. It stops only at the last packet. That is, it stops the last packets, checks for the file for viruses. Now, if everything goes well, it will send the file to the host. If something happens and it finds viruses, then it will show you one of the replacement messages. In a proxy-based mode, it's quite different. Your host asks for some file. It goes through your FortiGate, but then your FortiGate actually buffers the file. It doesn't send the file until it finishes to inspect it. If everything goes well, it will send the file to the host. If something happened and it finds viruses, then it again will show one of the replacement messages. Now, files have a limitation in terms of the default buffer, which is currently at 10 megabytes, but most viruses are less than 10 megabytes, so you do not have to worry about it. And you can also change it using the command line. Another thing that you need to know is when you move to the, let's go to the policy and object protocol options. One thing that you will see is that you can actually use the comfort client. That is a good practice when you're using a proxy-based mode. Your FortiGate will actually send packets to the host so that it will not lose the connection. Remember, each session has a session time limit. Now, if your FortiGate buffers the file and the host finishes its session time to live, then your FortiGate will actually send it packets to keep the connection alive.